let's get this thing going one way or another. All right, Cowboy Nation. Short intro. Not a lot to have when I got so many things that's going on right now. I hope you guys got your coffee because I'm low on mine, but I got some, and I really appreciate you all for jumping in. My thing is, we got to talk about this Dak Prescott. We're close to the deadline. Deadline makes deals. So unless Monday. We see some type of unbelievable breaking news, unless it's be one of those situations where we looking back, because today is what, Saturday? And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It looks pretty outside over here in Dallas area. So I hope that you guys are having that moment that you can sit back and you can enjoy family and friends and things like that. If you're following this channel, if you support this channel, hit that notification bell. There's a subscribe button as well. But the notification bell is wonderful, especially on the Facebook, because I go live at various times. There's no rhyme or rhythm to my movement here. But shout out to those that's on my YouTube page as well. Let me just give a shout out to Asmodeus. It don't matter where I go, right? I could be on the moon. I go to the moon. I go to the moon. And my dog Asmodeus will be right there, as well as all of you guys. Thomas, I salute to you. Appreciate you as well. Salad. And who else I see over here? C, what's good with you, man? Mark, Anthony, appreciate you. And Jessica, always holding it down for us over here on the Cowboys land and spitting the truth, because when I have the call-in session, she's always in the mix. And I got you guys for about 30 minutes to an hour. I have relatives over at the house, and we are having a good time. And I said, look, let me just go ahead and talk to my family over here on the YouTube and the Facebook world. Shout out to you, Italy. Joe, I see you. What's good? What time is it over there where you at? Because I know you're on a whole different time field there. All right, I know you're on a whole different time era. Shout out to you all, and I'm terraforming because on my Law Nations 2.0 page is still, we are trying to grow this thing over here. So shout out to you, Asmodeus. Look, the support. Look at the support, I say. I see it, man. DeLawrence, what's good with you, my boy? It's top of the morning. It's morning time. So here's the situation. My Cowboys team, we do not like the Cowboys, right? We absolutely do not like the Cowboys, right? If you like the Cowboys, you can move on. We love the Cowboys, right? We absolutely love the Cowboys. So when you love something, you always try to figure things out on how you can improve said something. So you look back at it and you say, maybe if we do this, and maybe, and just maybe if we can just do that, if you know what I'm saying? So, and of course, when you have strong love and adulations, you add those two together, right? And then you have discourse. You have people on one side saying, hey, wait a minute, ho, this would be better, right? And then the other side of the arc, appreciate you, David. David, what's good, man? Appreciate you for coming a member. It's members only. I can't hit the rest of the note, but you guys get that. Y'all can feel it into your mind. Appreciate you. And shout out to Jessica over there grinding. Hey, if you're on the YouTube page, please make sure to share. For 90 days, I will be on this particular channel live, and then it will go to the other channel unlive. Just work with me. Just grind with me, because I was talking about love. You know, they say love's a sin, love's a crime. Love is when you have grief, you ask God for a sign. Baby, my love run deeper than the sea. Keep the picture. My love is going to get you. You feel that? You feel those words? You know, my love run deeper than the sea. Keep the picture. My love is going to get you. There's bottoms of this world that we have never been to. They said that in the sea that there's actually places that we have never been to the bottom of the sea, but we've been to the moon. How about that? You see, why, Lord? Why we have never been to the bottom of the sea? Why we never touched the ground of the sea in certain areas, right? Right? Why we have not been there, but we've been to the moon. We send robots and stuff to Mars, right? We finding galaxies far, far away, but we can't get to the bottom of the sea. Man, that's crazy. When you contextualize it and you look at everything, you will say, come on. Why haven't we not won the Super Bowl in 25 years, right? Why we can't get to the bottom of it? What's in the way, Law? Why we can't just get this thing out of the way? Why when we look at other teams, they making moves, they doing the right things? Can somebody help me out? Can somebody point me into the right directions? Can somebody pull and extract some of these things, right? And tell me, Law, how come we've been mistreated, we've been kicked out, we've been cast aspersions on, we've been ridiculed, we've been what we found on the bottom of our feet at times, but we still come back for the love. Because it runs so deep. I'm tying this thing all together like a beautiful bow tie. I hope you guys can feel what I'm saying, right? Good morning to everybody. Shout out to my dog over there, Terrence. Man, he's one of the real OGs dogs over there is monitoring and operating my Facebook page. And with that being said, let me just do a quick selfish plug right quick. If you guys click here, it's going to be in the description box. Law Nation is always grinding for your mind. Yeah, Facebook reached out to me. And they said, hey, we see that you have products. We see that you have merch. We see that you have stuff and things like that. And we would like to be a part of your growth. We would like to, present a presentations to you, and they set up this store, right? You know, so when you do good things follow. So they set up this store, and I was able to get this store going, and it's the Law Nation's store, right? So a lot of people ask me, Law, where can I get your merch at on the Facebook side? Well, it's all good now because I got a website. It may not be the beautiful website. It may not be eloquent like certain other pages, but it's mine. So check out that store. Be sure to support at that store. All goes back to the nation. Trust me, when we become big and grow up and be all of this good stuff, maybe we can look back at it and say, baby, I remember when this happened, and look where we at now. Doc, man, what's good with you, fam? So here's the situation with Dak Prescott. Let me play this clip from 105.3 The Fan. It's like a syndicate radio station for me. It's like my sister station, as they say in other places. But I grab a lot of information from them. Jeff Kavanaugh, Brian Broadus. It's just about a 1 minute clip, and they going into the detailings of Rain Dakota Prescott. Appreciate you, Keem. Appreciate you, brother. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
It really bothers me, and it up at night. Let's say they end up having to tag him on March 9th. When you, as a GM, get to a draft with a guy who's tagged for the second time, which makes me think, hey, he's going to hit free agency, how do you not start thinking about a quarterback in that draft?
Yeah, 100%. You know, and Ed Waters brought that up on ESPN a number of times, which is they absolutely have to draft Dak's replacement. He's walking out the door. If they don't get a long-term deal done, he is out the door at the end of this year because to tag him at whatever the number will be, $52, $53 million is obviously prohibitive. So they absolutely have to know that he's going to graduate in a year. You celebrate him, you thank him for his services, and you have to draft his replacement. And talking to a number of teams around the league, there's very few quarterbacks. Right now there's one, Keaton Slaughter of USC, that has a first-round grade in 2022. And because of that, you really want to get the guy this year and develop him so when Dak leaves, you're ready to go.
All right. So were you guys able to hear that? And shout out to my dog, Mark Holmes, always in the mix, man. That's my brother from another mother. It seems like an older brother. I think he's old enough to be my father over there, but appreciate him and always got positive things to say about Dak Prescott. Always on point with Dak Prescott, whether it be people wanting to know or not wanting to know. But are you guys able to hear that audio that I just recently played? Let me know in the comment box so that I can go ahead and continue to share. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys Network. Just shared to 2.0 stream to the community law. Let's get it. This is Dallas Cowboys Network. Y'all be sure to check out them. That's Skywalker Steele. I'm talking about the young phenom. And if you guys seen if you have not seen his video, you've been missing out on some Cowboys content. It's foolish for you not to go check out the Dallas Cowboys Network. Just think of the name. Just think of the name and you will get the results of what the name said. Okay. Sounds good. Appreciate you. My dog Mark Holmes said, damn, I'm old for sure. But there's wisdom. Everybody trying to catch up to get to your age. So there's wisdom with that. So it comes with a price, right? You get older, but then you get all of this wisdom and understanding in life. People may think it's shortcuts, but there's no shortcuts to life, right? So speaking of shortcuts, shout out to my dog Antoine. Appreciate you get some of him, and if that's the case. So yeah, here's the situation. Cowboy Nation. When we look at Rain Dakota Prescott, on one end, I was reading a report from PFF saying that since 2016, the draft pick out of that particular class, not just out of the quarterback room, but the entire class, the highest or the person that propelled themselves the most was Rain Dakota Prescott. And I sit there and I thought and I pondered and I said, nah, that can't be right. It got to be Ezekiel because Ezekiel Elliott was the 4th overall draft pick. And a lot of times people look at Ezekiel Elliott last 2 seasons and be like, he was all right. It's just one of those things that Ezekiel Elliott, he's all right, but he need an offensive line. He need this, he need that. But I'm always looking at quarterbacks as a because continuous to protein. You don't ever use that word, but a continuing asset that grows. I look at running backs as a conduit. Law, where are you coming at with that? Law, what do you mean? What are you saying? So the Cowboys don't have the longitude and latitude to draft another quarterback to develop said quarterback? No, I'm not saying that. I'm even with the belief you draft a quarterback every year. If you don't have all of your heart, soul, and sinew on your main quarterback, just draft one every year. But I want to say this. There's historic data that can show and support that most of the time when you have a quarterback, it's not far removed, whereas you can find that running back to help and help push and help grow with that quarterback. I go all the way back to shout out to you, David, man. Appreciate when somebody make the donation to help elevate this thing. I got to put them on the screen. Put them on the screen, Law. Zeke will be better. The COVID hurt him. This is from David. Yeah, David. Yeah, David. Yeah, David. Shout out to you, Ed. Appreciate you, Ed. Thank you for jumping in. What's good with you? Yeah, I'll shoot the link out so you guys can jump in and be a part of this party. But here's the situation. Let me go back to the historic data. There's this certain guy named Peyton Manning, right? Peyton Manning, when he came into the league, he had a running back to help L and to help aid some of his decision makings. A lot of times people would look at it and say, nah, Law, it was all Peyton Manning. No, he had Marshall Faulk, right, for a year for a cup of coffee. And then after that year, they drafted Edge. Edge was dynamic as a running back. If you look at Edge, believe it or not, like Ripley's, believe it or not, if you look at Edge first 4 years and you compare them to Ezekiel Elliott, they mirroring. Now, Ezekiel Elliott splitting off on the 5th year north because of the fact that, Ezekiel Elliott, if you look at his numbers, you look at Edgerrin James' numbers. Law, where you going at? But follow me. Just bear with me. If you look at both of their numbers, they're very similar. And one, in truth could be told, even with the Colts, they always had a good offensive line, right? They always had a Marvin Harrison, a Reggie Wayne and things. They had those guys, and they always had a legitimate tight end. They did. And I know a lot of people will say, nah, Law, it was all Peyton Manning. Like Wayne wasn't there, and like Marvin Harrison wasn't there. I'm like, nah, dog. When you go back and look at the team, they always had that staple piece, running back, play action, pass. Hey, good coaching on the offensive side of the ball. And then when they lost that coach, they went and got my dog, Tony Dungy, and the rest was history. But what helped Peyton Manning out was that good running back who could run in between the splits, who can block, who can catch a little bit out of the backfield, and that was Edge, right? Oh, what helped Tom Brady out was the good old running back. You guys remember Cedric? No. They had Cedric Benson, right? But they had Corey Dillon. Y'all remember Corey Dillon? And do y'all know that you guys, if you go all the way back, and I know this could be before most of you guys were born, but you go back and look up Lawrence Maroney. Let me know what round he was drafted in for the New England Patriots. But look up Lawrence Maroney. He may not be a household name, but just look back at how they kind of orchestrated things to be put into place for these younger quarterbacks. And we can go all the way back some more. Can we go back some more? Yeah. I know people like, nah, Law, what are you saying, man? What are you saying? We can go all the way back to the Steelers. If I have my dog 2 Cent, if he was watching on this channel, he's not a part of this channel because he's probably not aware of the Law Nations 2.0. But 2 Cent, he's a diehard Steelers fan. And look at Fast Willie Parker, Jerome Bettis, So we can go on and on and on about young quarterbacks that's having this quote-unquote running back that can spark some things. And I don't even have to talk about, trust me, I don't even have to talk about Russell Wilson, right? I don't have to talk about his running back, right? That everybody called beast mode. Yeah. So my thing is, we got that. We got an Ezekiel Elliott already signed up for what? At least at minimum 2026, right? That's what his contract says, right? And, well, at minimum at 2022, 2023. We got him. It's just that this deal with Dak Prescott been the booger bear that's been hanging, coming out of the closet and scaring the hell out of us for many of years now. Will they sign him? Will they not sign him? Would they go and draft a quarterback when we know what we need is defense? Let me pause and pump the brakes, man, for Ed. Appreciate you, Ed. Appreciate you. Can't wait until the draft. I know. We can't wait until the draft, but the main thing, before we get to the draft, we got to dance. And here's where I'm coming at with this part of the team. Here's where I'm coming at. If we do not have that quarterback, if we do not have that staple piece on this offense, we'll be looking into 2021 season without an expectation. Well, with the expectation is, okay, we rebuilding. Because I don't think in the hearts of hearts that you guys, regardless, I've seen some optimism from some fans saying, yeah, man, the last few games, Andy, he at least he won some games. He could be better than Dak Prescott. I've seen and I heard some people say that. But if you really check them off the Twitter universe or in their rooms or in their whatever they may be at, They know for sure. Come on, Andy Dalton. Do you really feel that Andy going into 2021 or this season, and you're saying, okay, now we have a better offensive line. We got Amari Cooper. We have CeeDee Lamb. We have, we can probably trade some things up with Michael Gallup, and going into 2021 season saying, okay, we got a chance, baby. We going to win some games because now he got a full off season. We paid him his bag. I guess his market rate is right at $6.5 million. Maybe the Cowboys cut him a check for $7 or $8 million. They throw some money at him and say, okay, we want you to be the quarterback or be the bridge quarterback. Be the bridge. You let Dak Prescott walk, and then you develop another quarterback while Andy Dalton being the bridge, and you never sink yourself into the money. I don't think that people will buy that program. I think that is easier. Don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation, but it will be easier from my stance to go ahead, secure up or shore up Dak Prescott. The money that you're thinking about is going to sink the cap is not, because now you can prorate it. Now you can stretch that thing out. Now you can put towards the signing bonus, and now you don't have to really worry about anything. I've seen people say, well, Law, here's the situation. Here's the scenario. Yeah, my dog says CB, DT, at safety, linebacker help. Let me switch it. DT, CB, safety, linebacker help. I like the DT first, but I feel you as far as the draft value, the DBs out of this 2021 class are ranked a little bit higher as it relates to skill sets and abilities versus the defensive tackles. But I get you, Terrence. I feel you. So that's my thought track. That is where I look at it at, as far as the Cowboys. Let me know if I see anybody disagreeing. KMT, I see you, fam. Sup, Law? Sorry about your other channel. It's just a momentary step back. You know, sometimes you fall, but I always tell people, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up, right? So we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to grind over there and over here. So I can only go live here, right? So it's just a momentary setback for a great comeback, Cowboy Nation. Let's see what we got here. Russell Wilson will not be traded to the Dallas. Seattle would Seattle will be left with the $39 million dead money. It will not happen. It's from Charles Whitehead. And I've seen some outlines of Russell Wilson going to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to tell you guys, I've seen with my natural eyes, I've seen Russell Wilson. No, you ain't gonna talk about Russell Wilson. Let me talk about the first time we made a trade with the Seattle Sea Chickens. Do you guys remember Joey Galloway? Yeah. Y'all remember, do you guys remember what we gave the Seattle Sea Chickens? Oh, I'm sorry, Seahawks. What we gave them? We gave them 2 first-round draft picks. They switched those 2 first-round draft picks. I believe one year they went and got a Sean Alexander, and of course, they had this offensive line. They had already had a quarterback named Matt Hasselbeck, I believe. But that team along were able to get to the Super Bowl with our picks. And I'm sitting there watching it like, those are picks, man. If we got to be patient with this. I don't think in the hearts of hearts that Russell Wilson is a horrible quarterback at all. I don't think. But one thing I do know for sure, the things that he was doing and getting away with in Seattle land, he can't pass gas over here in Dallas. He's a sharp, well-cut guy, but even his wife gonna have to walk on eggshells out here in Dallas. See, Seattle is nothing out there but rain and coffee. Nothing out there but rain and coffee. The media, look, people weren't even going to the game. They said, look, man, let's just move the basketball team to, what they move to Oklahoma? Let's move it to Oklahoma, Look, I feel what people are saying. Russell, he's dynamic. He's fantastic. He's the guy. It is like now KMT. Russell to Dallas is a media hoax to get clicks. Yeah. But people people, I want you guys to understand this. I do. I do. Dallas is a whole different animal. It is. It's different. It's flat out different. You would think that, what Dak Prescott is doing is normal. It's unknown. It's unknown. What Dak Prescott been doing for the last 2.5 to 3 years is unknown. Not a word, not one negative beam of light. Negative can't have light, but you know what I'm saying? Not one negative word about how he's been treated, how the fan base come at him, at his throat, how the media flip things, even having people to think that he hate Dez Bryant, all of that stuff broke through, and they're the best of buddies, right? But the Dallas media, they would chew you up and spit you out. They would. Now, I'm not saying that Russell can't handle that, but dog it, for 3 first-round draft picks, for 3 of them. And when I go out there and I pull out the stats and I pull out the game by game, and everybody, mama, uncle, cousin says, hey, Law, Russell Wilson is light years ahead of Dak Prescott. And the last time they played each other in a game, or win or go home, in one of the biggest stages of that game, Russell was going home. But I'm not saying that, hey, it's a one-on-one type of league. It's not that. But what I'm saying, if somebody's light years ahead, don't you know what light years are? You can't use that argument. Light years are completely different. But when I see the stats and I see the level of play in the game, it's not light years. It's just Cowboys goggle years, I guess, or the Cowboys hate years, the people that's got this view of things of saying, okay, Cowboys this, Cowboys that about Dak Prescott. It's crazy. Let's do this because I've been live for at least 30 minutes now. And Supersonics. Yeah, Terrence. Yeah. Y'all remember Supersonics? The Supersonics, let's see if I could do this. Give me 1 second here. I don't have any intermission music because of the fact that I'm on this new platform and I got to do a whole bunch of other stuff to get that rights over here. But nevertheless, that link is designed for us to be in the family reunion. I can't stay long on it, but Cowboy Nation, when you guys see that link, you can be a part of the show. You can be a part of the growth. You can be like my dog, Truth, only $19.99 for your mind. Appreciate you, man, for the donations and your love and adulations to help grow this thing, man, with no hesitations, man. Man, you just over here, man, just out here putting the money down there, boy. I'm telling you, I can at least do that, right?
This is Sparta!
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I played This is Sparta, the 300 movie, right? Good movie. But I really, really would like, are you not entertained? Is this not why you're here? The Gladiator. But, and I'll get into details on my way out about that movie. But, hey, y'all pump the brakes. I got the lady of the hour, the person that's always pumping out the great information for the nations without any hesitations. Don't play no PlayStations, no deviations to the situation, right? I got Miss Jessica in the house with Ezekiel Elliott. Talk to me, Jay.
Hey, Law. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. What's good with you?
Well, Law, I don't know what they talking about or whatever, but I got a notification on my Cowboys app while ago,
Mm-hmm.
and Dak is gonna be all QB1. But they
Mm-hmm.
said what it was saying on the app is Dak is our quarterback. Who's going to
Right.
be his backup? So that
Mm.
right there already speaks volume right there. So all of this negative talking about Dak getting traded, Dak getting tagged, that ain't gonna happen. Dak gonna be signed. It don't make
Amen.
no sense to tag him again. And all these people need to go somewhere else. And whoever dislike your show, I'm saying right now, y'all need to move around. Because if you come in here, if you don't like a channel or you don't like the people and what they talking about on their channel, stay away from their channel. Just like I was saying on Mark channel last night, people come there
Go
just
ahead.
to aggravate him. Need to sit
Right.
down somewhere, but Dak not going nowhere. Dak gonna be our quarterback. It just all a matter of time that everything's gonna come out. Everybody know how Jerry Jones likes the media. They ended the drama for the mama. So all this needs to stop and be gone so we can move on and get our defense and everything ready. And let's go win a Super Bowl ring.
Cause that defense wins what? Championships, right?
Championship.
Yes, indeed, Jay.
You have a
So,
great one.
so, appreciate you so much for jumping in and calling in. So, Jay, you were saying that you got an app, so that app just kind of send you like breaking news, or you got like one of those official
It
plugs from the
shows
Dallas Cowboys.
different stuff, whatever they talking about. They be sharing it on YouTube as well.
Oh
But
wow, oh wow.
it's a Dallas Cowboy app that I got to download. It tells what's going on with the Cowboys and everything as well.
Oh man, that's fantastic. There. Hey, so how you been doing though on this beautiful day?
I'm doing great, Law. I got a new phone, of course, and try to
It
make sure
wasn't
I
that
get
static
everything
stuff.
worked out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I really appreciate you.
I hear
Thank you so much
myself
for calling
echoing,
in.
but
It's all
it
good. I
said
don't hear it on
got
my
two
end.
things open.
Oh, it's one of
Okay.
those.
Well, I just closed it, so it should have took care of it.
No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you so
Have
much
a
for
great
calling
morning.
in. Appreciate you for your love and adulations there, Jessica. All right, so I got dog Ed. He finna jump in. Ed, talk to me, man, with the hoodie on, bro. What's good with you, man?
What's up, Lord?
Incognito,
How
huh?
you been, man?
Man, I'm being great, man. Wonderful. I can't complain.
Hey, so I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
All right, I know that Dak wants fair market value for his contract, but
Facts, yeah.
what is fair market value for a quarterback that's not in the top five? Most top five quarterbacks get the next big deal, but I really don't believe Dak is a top five quarterback. So, what category does he fall in for fair market value? Every quarterback in the NFL don't get top dollar
Well,
just because
well,
they're
well,
the
well,
best.
before you go into more details of it, they have a system in place on how they evaluate or evaluations of said request for Dak Prescott. So they based it upon his production, his age, as well as his, I guess, those are the two production skill set according to Pro Football Focus, according to Spoke Track or Spoke Rack, as well as over the cap. They use a metric system. So just like when you have your house, you got your wonderful home over there, and you call an appraisal to come over. They go through their assessment. They make sure that everything is up to market or up to where the market is at. And if your house is not into that tip top shape, if you have foundation problems or if you have other issues, roof leaks and stuff like that, they'll ding you on it. So that's how that is all made out to be. But also, believe it or not, your community plays a major role in that because your comp will be your community, how houses are within the area, your range
Right.
of your area, and all of these sorts of things. All of that is calculated and calibrated. So that's what they do with Dak Prescott. But what fans do is they try to evaluate it with playoff wins and with wins. But that doesn't have nothing to do with your contract negotiation. The winning part is not equal. I guess the winning part of it is not calibrated into the metric there.
Right.
Yeah,
I just
that's what happened.
I seen Jared Goff go to the Super Bowl and beat Dak in the playoffs.
Facts. Yep.
And I would think that Dak would deserve 40 plus. If he would have
Hold on before you go into that detail there, and I appreciate you, Ed. But that the win loss column is never evaluated into that metric. They do not evaluate how many wins a quarterback have or how many losses a quarterback have. They only evaluate his production, his stats. You see what I'm saying? And what he was able to do on the field. Unfortunately, I didn't make the rule. That's just how they do it. And of course, if they were to go back and say, okay, let's pay quarterbacks based upon how many games they won and where they made it to the playoff and whether or not they won a Super Bowl, it'll be a whole different world. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. You know what I mean? I seen on your show the other day when you was talking about Skip Bayless and the $10 million house out in California.
Right.
And I was trying to come up with an analogy, and this is what I come up with.
Right.
I know when Skip first got to California, he could have bought a house for $6 million, like Shannon Sharp said. But this is the thing: if you're buying a house and it's $10 million, but you don't think it's worth $10 million, then you go buy you a $5 million house and you keep $5 million in your pocket just in case that economy drops. That way you don't lose all your money and you can put the other $5 million in your $5 million house to have a great house.
Well, that is a wonderful analogy there, Ed. But here's how it works. See, the $5 million house would not be in the same area or the community where the $10 million house is located at. And you pay for basically what you get. Now, every now and then you might see some that's in that area, but there could be other circumstances or reason why that said house is at that rate. But when you look at what the analogy, what Skip Bayless said, yes, it was a valid one. He felt, that was his feelings, that house wasn't worth $10 million. But the market determines the house worthiness or the house worth. So the demands out there by that house being on the free market, somebody is going to pay for that $10 million. It may not be worth to him. So the same situation to the Cowboys. Dak Prescott worth as it relates to the Spoke Track or on all of these websites, they're saying that his range or his worth, his value, as far as his production, as far as his skill set, based upon his age, based upon his contemporaries, is right at this number. Now, the Cowboys may not look at it like that's something that they are willing to pay for, but if he's on the open market, there will be somebody that's willing to pay for it.
Yeah. I really believe that we're going to go get Deshaun Watson. I think that the price range is about right, and the Houston Texans don't mind paying $40 million for a quarterback, and I think it's going to fix both Texas problems.
But hold on before you go into details with that, Ed. See, that is not a price point. They want more than just the price. They want draft picks in return. So that's a no-go. I think that they want north. I think the Seattle Seahawks, they want 3 first-round draft picks. The Texans, they want, I believe, 4 and a defensive player. First-round draft picks at that. So I think that that's a no-go. And trust me, I know a lot of people will say that Deshaun Watson is light years ahead of Dak Prescott. But when we look up the stats and we look up everything statistically, it doesn't prove or showcase that. They're still in the same tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, giving up 3 first rounds is too much for a quarterback. You're right. But I think that Houston and Dallas might have something coming along when after Dak gets tagged. I think they might throw D. Law in a first-round pick, and I think they're going to go ahead and switch them out. I hope so anyway.
Man, Ed, I appreciate you for calling in, dog. I really do, man. Thank you so much, bro.
All right, buddy.
Good call from Ed, man. But it doesn't work that way. And I understand what he's saying, Ed. I understand what he's saying. Because here's the situation. Even when you're talking about trading, it's not like, okay, I'm going to get you guys for this guy and I'm going to get this guy for that guy. No, what it works like and what it looks like is when you trade somebody and when you actually move on from somebody, that contract still follows them. So I don't think that the Texans are looking at D-Law's contract and saying, oh, I'll eat that contract. by the way. It doesn't work that way. But I feel where he's coming from, Cowboy Nation. Remember, this is all speculative. I love people to call in with different opinions, different thought tracks. Hey, we all shouldn't think alike, right? We all don't look alike, so we shouldn't all think alike. Law, how on earth did you keep your composure there? Hey, man, it is what it is. I didn't want see Ed. He's a good supporter of the channel, and I ain't want to just go too crazy on Ed. You know how that goes. I didn't want to go. I ain't want to tell him to leave for it a little bit, but it is what it is. Now, you guys can still jump in. Let me post the link once again. Some new callers, if you guys want to voice your thoughts, voice your opinions. We got about 15 more minutes before the show was able to rock. The link is in the description box, and I really appreciate everybody for being part of this stream right now. Let me see. I got my dog, Italian Cowboy. My dog, Italian Cowboys. Look, been following the page for not just 1 year, not just 2 years, but for many of years. And I really appreciate the people that's been marching with Law Nation for a long time. And y'all think it's crazy, think it's strange, right? Think it's not strange, right? But you can think it's strange that Skip Bayless, his contract was out there. And everybody was looking at his contract like, wow, $32 million. He was able to get that? Watch Law. When I get to about Skip Bayless' age. Watch when I get to about Skip Bayless' age. This is a stream for Eds. I got another Ed. What's good with you?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Everything is great, man. Talk to me. What's on your mental? What's on your heart and soul and all those good things?
Well, I'm just curious, man. Like, we're all Dallas Cowboys fans here. We want the best for our team. We want them to succeed, obviously. Shout out to you. I'm a follower of you. We've even had certain disagreements, but, at the end of the day, we're all Cowboys fans. But
Facts.
Anyways, just wondering, so when does Dak Prescott become tradable to you? What happens if, let's say, we were 8-8 again or worse, and it's just sort of the same results, and we end up having to pay him $44 million a year?
Wow.
When does it become tradable, I guess,
Well, Dak Prescott, believe it or not, is tradable now. If the Cowboys, and I'm not in the front office, but I'm just looking at it. Can I speak objectively? I don't want nobody to come at me, but this is just the reality of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes parts just doesn't fit for you, and you got to move on. And if Dak Prescott, from the front office view, is not on the same keel of where they want, and they can't come out with a deal, instead of letting Dak Prescott walk, try to get something out in return. So put the non-exclusive tag on him. You get 2 first-round draft picks at least, at minimum. And there's teams out there with plethora of money. Last year, the Colts kind of already shot themselves in the foot, say, yeah, we'll pay Dak Prescott top market value. At the time he was $33 million. They said they will be willing to give him $35 to $36 million. Do you remember that report, Ed?
Yeah, I do.
So there was some interest out there, but there's 2 wars at this. In business 101 and econ and economics is always you buy low and you sell high. You buy low and you sell high. They selling the fact that, or they trying to tell Dak Prescott, hey, you getting this marketing money. Hey, you playing for the America's team. Hey, we trying to grow others on this team. So is there a way that you could take below market value, or is there a way that you could take a team discount so that we can do this and do that? Right. In the meantime, Dak looking at it like, no, I already gave you the discount. Matter of fact, Dak Prescott, from a psychology major, he from that aspect of it, because I heard he went back to school and got a psychology degree. He probably said, look, I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to let my agent do all of the talking, and I'm just going to focus on myself and football.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. The thing is when, I'm going to say this, when Jerry Jones is suppressing the market, meaning that he's not going to leak out the teams that were interested. He's not going to be out there saying, okay, I'm going to put my quarterback out there on the market, because they would drive up costs or they would drive up the price. Can you imagine if Dak Prescott was on the market without that tag, or if Dak Prescott came out and said, I wanted to be traded, that would ruffle the feathers and it would increase the asking price for Dak Prescott, because somebody would say, hey, the Colts want to pay him 35. I got 38. And that was last year. And then this year, there's teams with a lot of money. The Patriots, they got a whole bunch of money sitting on a whole bunch of cap space. They can say, okay, we'll give them 42 or 43. And now the Cowboys done painted themselves in the corner. But go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, man, like, I'm kind of more concerned about the coaching hires that we made with, the dude from Atlanta. What's his name again?
Quinn.
Quinn, yeah. I'm concerned with him, and I'm still kind of concerned with McCarthy. I'm not so hot for that hire. I feel like Jerry Jones didn't do his due diligence and really hire some legit candidates out there. The dude from Kansas City, I forgot the name of the brother that was
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we need to look ahead and be able to get guys like that. Guys who are proven, guys who really do develop, the entire team, and try to get us successful.
That's a good train of thought there. But, for our issues with the Cowboys, been on the I'm not going to say all on the defensive side of the ball.
It's a huge issue, though.
But it's a huge issue. And I believe even with Eric Bieniemy, we would have still had the historically bad defense, the worst defense ever the Cowboys ever seen. So my thing is, we need culture in here to be changed. We need coaches to have the ability, to have the longitude and latitude to cut players, to bring in players, to be that final voice. But I think that players, when they come to Dallas, they know how to circumvent it and go to Jerry Wayne Jones' office and say, hey, Dad, Coach, I don't like the way he's doing this.
And that's the thing. Like, unfortunately, I'm not trying to sound cruel. I mean, God bless everyone, of course. But like, I
know where you're going.
Yeah, I feel like as long as Jerry Jones is alive and kicking there and he's calling the shots, we're just always going to be in these situations where we're 8-8 and worse. Because I mean, the past 25 plus years, he's the constant. You know, I mean, he's had a couple of good draft picks, but by and large, for the most part, he's been a terrible GM.
He's been one of those guys.
GM. Yeah, I mean, 25 years of mediocrity or worse. This needed to change decades ago, but it didn't. So here we are now, and he's totally mishandled the Dak situation. Personally, I feel like we should extend Dak, but if we feel like we can get someone better, do it. But that's the thing, do it.
Don't play around with it. You know how contracts go, and I believe majority of the people that's watching, they have been in some type of contract. Remember back in the days, Ed, you got the TV contracts with yourself. Even if it's Direct TV or it's even with your cell phone company, they have these bundle deals, but they say, hey, you got to re-up on your contract because once outside of this contract, the price is going to go up. So they try to get you to renew the contract. Can you renew for 2 years? Can you renew for 3 years? And if not, the price is going to go up. And what they did with the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, his contract expired. Regardless of whether or not they didn't come up with an agreement, and they said they had one, but the time expired. Billionaires, for one thing that I do know about people with wealth, they make the rules. They don't fool around and say, okay, oh, man, I didn't know that red light wasn't there or that stop sign wasn't there. I've seen billionaires get mad at a stop sign, and the next day, the city and the ordinance, zoning commission, no longer have that stop sign there. They have a whole yield sign just for them. But, billionaires, they figure out ways. So if Jerry Wayne Jones, I got to say wine sometimes because, he like to drink that wine. If he really want Dak Prescott, he would not allow this thing to go on and on and on. But I know my lady, Miss Jessica, would say, no. But I'm just got to put that out objectively. Because think about this, Ed, before I let you go. Think about this, and everybody that's watching. Tony Romo got an extension on a contract after he went 1-5, 8-8, 8-8, 8-7. He got an extension, which were at the time the Cowboys' highest total contract ever. And the money was more than what Tom Brady was making. And it was more than what Joe Flacco, who just recently won the Super Bowl, was making. So
I hear I hear what you're
go
saying
ahead.
there. I think the reason Jerry doesn't want to do this with Dak is because he know he made a mistake the first time with Tony, and he doesn't want to make a second mistake.
Oh,
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I know a lot of people are like, well, Tony got his. How come Dak can't get his? And my thing is, well, maybe he just doesn't want to make the same mistake twice. He knows that
that
he
could be.
mishandled the Romo situation. So why shoot yourself again in the foot if you don't need to?
So I'm gonna let
That's
the
a train
people.
of
I'm
thought that
gonna
I've
let the
never heard
people
anyone
decide
say.
that, though.
Yeah,
If you guys believe in that, just type in Ed or something in the comment box. Say Ed.
this is
Ed,
possible.
right?
Like it's real possible. It's something that I've never heard anyone really voice out. I feel like I'm the only one who's ever thought that. It's like, well, hey, I mean, how come? Maybe he just didn't want to make this same mistake twice.
Yeah, and the Cowboys are known for once they make that mistake, they don't really do it again with that because the Brandon Carr, they say, you know what, forget it. We're not going to do no more big time free agent signings, right?
Right.
And I feel what you're saying. And a whole lot of things changed since they've been trying to maneuver this Will McClay, letting him make more of the decisions and things like that. But it's a good call from you, Ed, man. I really appreciate you for jumping in, bro.
Sure, man.
Appreciate you. A lot of people said Ed was right. I got my dog, man. The East Side, man. East Side Harold. He's about to jump in and talk his mind. I guess he's going to say something about the rain Dakota Prescott. But let my dog in here, man. East Side, talk to me, man.
Hello, brother, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, it's your world, bro. It's your world.
Man, we open up Wednesday, man. You got any big plans?
What you mean, man? What you talking about?
Hey,
Break
man,
it down.
Texas come open 100% Wednesday, man,
Man, you better put on that. I'm going to wear that mask.
Yeah.
But no. I'm gonna still practice my social distance, man, until all of this stuff go away. It's just like anything else. As far as a pandemic or things out there that can hurt you or harm you. Just because they got a pill out there, was it Plan B pill? Doesn't mean that you gotta go. I hope the kid. I can't say it. Kids, it's too early. But people in the comment box, you just type in RAW if you know what I'm saying. Just because you got Plan B don't mean you can go do the RAW with these ladies. But go ahead, though. Go ahead with me.
No, you if you ain't said nothing right this whole broadcast, that was right, sir. If I ever agree with you on something, okay, talk, brother. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about that. We in year 6.
Yeah, headed to year 6. Go ahead.
NFL, not for long. And last year I called your show about the deadline, and that was the first franchise tag, and more than likely you're gonna be looking at a second franchise tag. But do you think your organization believes in Dak with a second franchise tag? Do you think he's really happy? Will be happy with that?
Well, it's the blame game at this point, right? And I lean towards blaming the Joneses. Then I lean towards blaming Todd France. But then I start looking at Todd France, and somebody hit me up with this, and you just post your name in the comment box, and they said, man, all of Todd France agents, they are getting this franchise tag. Maybe the brother Todd France don't know how to negotiate, because I know for sure when I turn on that Denver's tape, that Justin Simmons, he's everywhere. He's everywhere making plays. I think he had 5 interceptions last season. We will make a monument, a statue, and put him right next to Scott Mirror if he was able to do that for the Dallas Cowboys. We would sign him to a long-term contract, right? But they can't come up to an agreement over there in Denver's land. So I just think that maybe if Dak Prescott had any other agent, maybe. And trust me, I'm not trying to pick sides with the Joneses. Trust me, Cowboy Nation. But I just believe if Dak Prescott had any other agent, we would have had this deal already inked, signed, and done with. But that agent, something about that agent. Maybe 2-3 years from now, East Side, we'll hear ESPN 30 for 30.
No. Man, let me ask you, how you gonna feel if Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson get their long term deal before that? What do you think the price gonna be then?
Hey, I'm gonna feel the same way, Eastside, how I felt when Carson got his, when Ryan Tannehill got his. And shout out to Ryan Tannehill. You know, he deserved his money or what have you. He played
Oh
in the
yeah.
league for many of times. And golf, when they got his contract, because I was banging on the table, and I thought you was probably in one of those live streams telling like they don't ain't gonna pay Dak, but I'm saying they better pay Dak Prescott before those boys get their coins. And lo and behold, they got their coins. I said like, oh Lord, the
Yeah.
price is going to continue to go high. And at that time, people were still comparing Dak Prescott to Carson, you know. But go
Anyway,
ahead.
man. Do you wanna hear my opinion on Deshaun Watson, or this not one of them shows?
No, man. I got about 5 more minutes. I got Doug Brooks in the house, man. He's waiting. So voice your opinions so I can let Doug in. But go ahead.
Honestly, the Texans say they're not even taking calls, so that could be just a talk. But if he goes, I'm gonna feel some type of way. But I can understand he wanting to go. And 9 times out of 10, if anybody know me, I'm pro pop player. Most of the time, I'm a little biased, but I understand why he wants to go. But you just signed that last year, brother. You took that money. You knew the administration. You knew who was there, but you clearly signed on that dotted line and took that money. Hey, brother, if he really want to leave, he got a no trade clause. If he waives that, he really wants to go, but he hasn't waived that yet. So if you really want to get out of Houston, you got to waive that. But if you don't waive that and you still living it up on that money you just got, hey, sir, hey,
Yeah.
Texas is your home of the players and pimps.
But
And you gonna be down here in H Town if you let you want to retire. And that's
yeah,
the God's honest truth, law. If he want to sit down, if he giving that money back, oh okay, hey, you're serious to your cause. But as
yeah.
long as you living nice and your mama straight, hmm,
But you know what it is, man. I think that his eyes are set on Carolina. You know, if Deshaun Watson can go to Carolina, oh my God, you know that would be a match made in heaven for him because I think that he's used to that area. He would love to play for that particular city and organization. But when you look at it in hearts of hearts, and you know, I love the Texas program. I'm a Texas guy, by way of Mississippi. I think it would be better for Dak Prescott. Oh, I'm sorry. Deshaun Watson. And Dak is on my mind. The two number fours keep mixing me up. But it'd be better for Texas for Deshaun Watson to stay. And for Deshaun Watson to look at it and say, okay, they got a brand new coach. And let help the brother out. You know what I'm saying? He's a new coach. I mean, he finally got that position, and he got one of the
brother
better
at that too.
quarterbacks in the National Football League. Talking about they on their way out. If I'm that coach, I'm pulling him over to the side like, come on, man, come talk to me, dog. Come talk to me, man. Come on, man. Come
They
on,
had
bro.
they had to talk, but he
Yeah, come on,
he
man.
he's standing his ground, which I believe. But hey, man, there's gonna come a point where you're gonna have to start paying that money back, or you just want to sit down, or you just want to hang it up, or shit.
But
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, East Side, man. I see that passion in you, man, about your quarterback. That's your quarterback, man. So I
Hey,
feel
he's the
you,
man.
man. May he have a wonderful season until they play the Dallas Cowboys. I like
Huh.
Deshaun Watson, man, but until he play the Cowboys, I root against him. That's the only time I root against him. But salute to you, bro.
Yeah, that's a bit. I appreciate you, brother.
Salute. All right, last caller for the day. Doug, what's good, man? Look at the Cowboys gear, man. I love it, man. Talk to me, Doug.
What's going on, man? It was nice talking to you. I don't know if you hear this echo, but let me turn my phone down, I guess, a little bit. But I just want to kind of piggyback on the caller before the last caller. And
Okay.
I just want to just kind of, I do my own little podcast show here myself, and
Okay.
I've been pushing the narrative that they don't fully believe in Dak Prescott, and which is the reason why it's taking so long for him to be signed. And all you have to do is just look at the pattern. the pattern is that Romo, you can't ignore the obvious. You know, Romo got paid when he had a subpar record. He was box office, but we weren't winning anything, and he got paid without hesitation, with no argument. They brought him in and said, "Hey, we're gonna give you this," and he didn't have to do nothing. It was just, it was a love fest. They paid him.
Facts,
That's the
yeah.
crap. They paid D. Law. They paid Cooper. They paid the Jalen Smith. They paid Lyle Collins. They paid everybody else. And I've never seen a franchise play the quarterback last. I just never. This is the pattern. See, these are things that we cannot deny.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
but so when they talked about Romo, if you remember, Law, I know you'll know this. When they talked about Romo, Jerry said these words. He said, "I believe that Tony Romo can win us a Super Bowl." He said that.
Out of his
All
mouth,
right.
yeah.
When he talks about Dak Prescott, and this is the narrative that I've been pushing for so long, notice the difference. He said that Dak is a great leader. He's great in the locker room. And then the last thing he said, I believe Dak Prescott is going to win us a lot of games.
Yeah.
Here's the difference. With Romo, he said, I believe he can win a Super Bowl. With Dak Prescott, he said, I believe he can win a lot of games.
Yeah.
And when you remember that stuff, that kind of explains why there was no hesitation with Romo getting paid immediately off of
Right.
8-8, 3 straight 8-8 seasons. And then you listen to watch that, and now there's a 2.5 year wait. It's not hard to figure out. It's easy to see. And so my conclusion, Law, is
Break it
that
down.
they do not fully believe that Dak Prescott is the guy. Because if they did, they would have gave him Romo treatment. That's just the bottom line. To me, they believed in Ezekiel Elliott. They believe you ain't got to go back and fire Romo. Just stick with
Right, right,
right
right,
on
right,
this
right.
team here. When they believe in you, they go ahead and pay you. They don't care if it's paying too much. They paid Cooper $20 million a year. They gave D. Law the gigantic contract. They paid Lyle Collins. We can't use injury because Lyle Collins been out. I mean, he been out more games than he have played.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So that's my thing. I just don't believe that they fully believe in him. I believe they're gonna franchise him, and we're gonna hear this narrative again like we heard last year. They'll franchise him. We'll get the deal done before July, and July will get here and be that set because they really don't want to pay this man what what the market says that he's
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah.
The market says.
You know what it is, Doug, DB. The problem is with this is I think that the guidance from Dak Prescott. I did many videos saying that the brother should not play on the franchise tag.
Yeah.
He should play that hardball and do not play on the franchise tag. And I know the $31 million or 32, whatever it was very tempting. Because I said on my video, I said, man, what would happen if he go down week 3, week 4? And I'm not saying that I'm glad that he went down week 5, but I was saying that, like, yeah, all money is not good money. You play
There you go.
dominoes. You
Yes,
like
sir.
your brother, they play some dominoes.
Yeah, you know.
And sometimes, and we don't play nickels, but
No.
sometimes you look at it like, man, I can get this 20 right here. 20 days. You put the domino,
Yeah.
20 days. But you said, nah, I'll lock myself out, and I still got some big bones in my hand.
Exactly.
I'm
I
going
might
to
give
go
up
I'm going
25.
ahead and get that 10, or I'm going to get that 15. And
Yeah.
give me that 15. You
Yeah,
give me that
take
15,
your
dog.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody looking over your shoulder, hey, dog, you had 20. And then you show them, you're like, nah, dog, look right here. And they say, oh.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what Dak Prescott camp did. When they
Yeah.
played under that franchise tag to prove that I'm worthy, I'm valued, I can do this, which was a gamble move. It's a
Tremendous gamble.
young man's game, right? You got to
Tremendous
secure
gamble.
yourself. You got
Yeah.
to secure yourself. So by him going down, the owner's like, okay, cool. Listen to Shay Sharp. Shay Sharp, I trust me, I can't stand the brother, especially on some of his topics. But he played the game, and he gave everybody the blueprint. When you get signed by that franchise tag, regardless of how the money is coming in, you gonna feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Especially when you are the quarterback, the leader of the team, you're just gonna feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Now, just to be objective with it, just to throw some objectives out here, DB, is this right here. When Tony Romo came onto the scene, we was going through a gauntlet of horrible, horrible quarterbacks, man. And Tony Romo was that breath of fresh air. He had things that people could compare themselves to. And especially when you are on the other side and you don't look like them, you know what I'm saying? I'm not making it racial. Plus me, I'm not saying it that way. But there are
Yeah.
things that you are comfortable with opposed to things that you are not. They are comfortable with Tony Romo. They looked at Tony Romo like, hey, he's a mixture of a Brett Favre. Oh, he can get away like a Rodgers, the Dodger, right? Oh, that's something that we can market. And that's something that he can bring hope to, the way that he was able to bring back teams in certain situations. Oh, man, they even compared Tony Romo to Tom Brady at some point because they was looking at the fact that Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback that got injured, and all of a sudden, Tom Brady came onto the scene. Same thing one can say about Drew Bledsoe when he was pulled from the game and Tony Romo came onto the scene. People was looking at it like, hey, this guy can do this guy can do that. And they fell in love with the name of Tony Romo, and they didn't listen to what Bill Parcells had to say. Do not anoint him right now.
Hmm.
I believe that there was a Super Bowl in there. I believe if Bill Parcells was coaching that 2007 Dallas Cowboys team, the Dallas Cowboys would have a Super Bowl ring. I believe if Bill Parcells was coaching this team, the amount of time or the length of time that Jason Garrett was coaching this team, we would have had a Super Bowl. So the issue, it is not about the quarterback, it's not about the running back, it's not about the team in general as far as the talent. It's the coaching, and it's also the actual person that's in charge of everything. Jerry Wine Jones. He get in the way. He just get in the way. He muddies the water.
I totally understand that, and man, I appreciate you answering my call, but I just think it's just some patterns as fans that we just cannot ignore, and we don't
Right.
have to look back to the Romo era. We can just look on this team,
Right
and
there. Yeah.
when we're talking about money, there is a pattern that is has been shown that he did pay people, and if you want to categorize it as overpaying,
Mm-hmm.
he did that too, and yet we're still in this almost 2.5 year battle
We are.
with a person that they said, Steven
Right.
said, we're close. We're so close. We're so close. Well, if you're so close, it shouldn't have took this long.
He shouldn't
That's
took
that.
this long.
No, I'm saying you said at the end of last year we were so close.
Right.
So you pick back up where you were so close from, and
Mm-hmm.
then you just go ahead and ink the deal. But if you listen to what everybody's saying, and I'm well aware that Dak ain't talking, and the Jones family really haven't talked either. To be honest with you, you
Right.
really don't hear anything. But when you hear that, if it was so close, it just shouldn't take this long to sign your quote unquote franchise quarterback. I mean, this is unreal. And let me say this because you just made me think about something, Law, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
mind.
No, go ahead.
Uh, Kirk Cousins bet on himself and he survived because he wasn't injured. Dak bet on himself by taking the franchise tag. I mean, they offered it to him, so they gave it to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he got hurt. My mind went back to Earl Thomas when
Mm-hmm.
he was on the franchise tag, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he was in the contract year.
Yeah, yeah, it's the contract. Yeah,
The
yeah.
contract ended, and he broke his leg, whatever that was, and he ended up flipping the organization off as he was leaving the field.
Right.
And as great as he was, and probably would get consideration for the Hall of Fame without a doubt, they knew that they didn't want him anymore because they didn't want to pay the big time bucks, and he left them off the field. that goes another reason why Dak should not be wanting the franchise tag. I know he don't want it, but my goodness, if he get hurt again, come on now.
Yeah.
His career, his money is all this money that you were talking about before could be gone down the drains because he
Yeah.
has experience with playing with the franchise tag now. He don't want to do that again. And I that's why I say I don't know how financially off he is or whatever the case, or he willing to sit it out or whatever, but I wouldn't be in such a quick and rush in a hurry. Especially since I played on it. And if I get
Yeah.
hurt in that same spot again, that $40 million a year going down the drain, but
Mm-hmm.
that's if it's career threatening. I may add, but that's all I got to say, man.
It's just like I said, going back to that analogy of on no bones, man.
Man,
You get that big money, but you lock the board, and you still got
man.
Big Bertha. You got Big Bertha in your hand,
Yes, sir.
and we counting like, all right, the board lock, pull them out. Let's see, low man win.
Low man win. That's
Jerry Wine Jones, like pull your money out,
Yeah,
and they said, oh, you got injured week 5, and trust me. In the hearts of hearts, I think that the Joneses, like my grandmother said, my late great grandmother would say, there's people in hell with good intentions, right?
There you go.
So the intentions were for Dak Prescott administration to get out there and show up and showcase to the billionaire that, hey, I can do this. I got this,
Yeah.
But the problem is that the boy got locked. And then when they started, the boy locked up and he put bones out, and they saw, dog,
the board locked, man.
you got Big Bertha in your hand.
You don't have no more card. You don't have no bone to play. If you would have signed him when they didn't do it last year, the board got locked because he got all the leverage now, and you can't avoid it. So it's sad, man. It's sad that I got to this point, but it is what it is.
But I appreciate you, DB, man. Thank you for jumping in, man. Jump in anytime, bro. Appreciate you.
Take it easy, Doc.
All right. So on my way out, I got to give you guys. Remember, I was talking about. Let me give everybody who called in one of these sirens.
This is Sparta.
I love to play that because it gives you a different mindset. But my thing is, Cowboy Nation, there was this movie, Gladiator, many moons ago. Was it Russell Crowe that played in that movie? Good movie. Go back and watch it. I think it's on Amazon Prime, on HBO Max. It's on, I think you might can watch it on Netflix, but it's a real good movie. And you guys remember, he wasn't a Spartan, but he was a Spaniard. He was the guy that led his troops. He was fighting for the king, for Rome, for the glory of Rome. He was fighting for them, and he would go into war. He would go into battle for the glory and the honor of the king. The thing is, the king had 2 kids, 2 offsprings. He had a daughter and he had a son who who really never wanted to fight in war, never wanted to fight in battle. So he was always doing shady stuff, slick stuff, behind the back type of stuff. He even had relations with his own sister. It was just that crazy, right? But the movie, Russell Crowe, I believe, what was his name? He was a Spaniard, right? He was a Spaniard. He was one of those guys that when you look at it, you say, okay, he did everything for the glory of that kingdom. Let me see if y'all know that movie, man. Gladiator, good movie. Here's my point. He was fighting in the war, fighting in the battle, and when they try to offer him things, he said all he wanted to do is be free, be on the open market, basically. I wanted to be able to go back home, plant my field, be with my lovely wife and kid. That's all I want to do. But the king saw something in him. The king really poured upon his blessings to him. But here's the situation with that. Maximus. Yeah, appreciate you, Maxima. The king saw all of this good stuff and said, hey, man, I want you to be the next Caesar. And he said, dog, basically, I'm going to paraphrase. He said, dog, I don't want that, man. I don't want to be the next Caesar. I'm good. I'm good.
This is
I'm good being who I am, I don't need all of this. And before the king had that conversation, or the Caesar had that conversation with him, he told his daughter, he said, man, if only you was born a male, if only you was born a man, basically, I would put you as Caesar, because your little brother, he's really not up to snuff. He's frail. And my fault as a father, is being shown on him because I was never able to elevate him. But here's the situation. I want to give it to that guy right there, the Spaniard, Maximus, whatever his name was in the movie. And he poured upon his blessings to him. And he was like, nah, what about your son? Let him get it. I just want to go home. But he said, no, for the sake of Rome, you need to be that position. You need to be in that house. You need to be that guy. But all he wanted was to be free. And that is what the franchise tag do to you sometimes. It does not allow you to be free. It may put you in a situation that you get a bunch of money, you get a bunch of resources, you get a bunch of this, you get a bunch of that. But you want to just be able to do your job and go home to your wife and kids. But there was a hater amongst the house. Because when the father told the son, like, hey, man, I'm going to make that guy the next Caesar. You ain't qualified to do this. You ain't ready to handle this. And then he was like, his son was crying like, oh, no, daddy, I'm the bloodline. I'm this, I'm that. I'm this and I'm that. And he killed his own father for that power, man. That power struggle is something else. And then he sent the troops to go kill that man's wife and son. And to kill him, actually, to try to kill him too. That's how much power that the son wanted. He wanted to kill the Spaniard. Wanted to kill him cold-blooded. But he said, hey, man, give me a soldier's death. And then he walked him out into this woods. I'm just going to give you all the full movie. They walked him out into this woods, and he said, give me a soldier's death. Let me die like a soldier. And they were going to turn him, they're going to stab him back in his neck. And he raised up, he had his helmet still on. He broke away, killed the guys that were trying to kill him or execute him. And he rushed home to go see his family. He rushed home to go see his wife. And kids, I believe in the hearts of hearts, if he were to just make it to the house, make it freely to the house, he wouldn't even try to go back at the king or at Caesar. He would have been like, yeah, I'm glad to know that they think that I'm gone. But when he got there, he was too late. His wife was gone. His son was gone, dead. I mean, he was so out of energy when he got there. He passed out after he buried them because they was crucified, basically hung, burnt alive. Just think about that. It's a cold-blooded movie. But the people that took him and sold him off to slavery, he had to fight back to the graces. He had to fight back to everything that he had to get to where he wanted to go. He had to fight back for it. He had to go to the gladiator, the sport arena, and the same person that wanted to kill him had to face him. And I don't want to see that for my Rain Dakota Prescott. I don't want to see Dak Prescott go to a different team, being cast out, being split upon with the Cowboy Nation. We know the story, right? We know the story of Dak Prescott, of how he got to that position and what he was able to do with the cards that was dealt with him. So many people out here trying to compare Dak Prescott to Pat Mahomes, but they ain't comparing Jason Garrett to Coach Andy Reid. Think about that sometimes. We had Jason Garrett, a below average at best coach. Well, you can say average at best, so you can do whatever you want. But until Dak Prescott came aboard, they never had a losing season until last year, and wasn't even here. They never had a losing season together. Let that sink in. But so many people are so ready to say, well, Dak Prescott, hey, he didn't do this, he didn't do. Look, we had Jason Garrett. And I go ahead and I tell people, look, if you put Jason Garrett on the Kansas City Chiefs, you think they're going to the AFC Championship? You think that they're going to the Super Bowl back-to-back? I got land on the moon for sale. I digress. Cowboy Nation, I already outspoke my time. I really appreciate everybody for jumping in. Go watch that movie. I'm just paraphrasing some of the movie. At the end of the movie, the Spaniard, he victoriously won Rome. He won the people. He won the crowd. He got his free papers, but, I'm not going to tell the end of it, but you guys get what I'm saying. Asmodeus, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, King Fish. Jessica, thank you for jumping in. Really appreciate you. Cold Milk, thank you for jumping in. DC Cowboys, appreciate you for jumping in. Defense been the problem. Dak is the best for us, at least for now. Money about to blow it up so we can hit Dak. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Ben, say it again. Chappelle, appreciate you. Italian Cowboy, appreciate everybody for jumping in. That's all the time that I have for this beautiful moment. About to kick it out with friends, families, and beyond. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. If you're watching on the Law Nations 2.0 page, continue to share and grind there. If you're watching on the Facebook page, appreciate you for jumping on. And if you are a part of the notification squad, let me know in the comment box. And please pluck that notification bell. And to support Law Nation, as we on this wrap up right now, just go to the Law Nation store. I have a plethora of items there. There will be more and more items coming in the future. The link is in the description box, so you guys should see it across the chat. And let's continue to find ways to be positive. Let's figure out what the Cowboys are going to do with Dak Prescott, or let's figure out what they're going to do in this draft. At the end of the day, if you can't make a long-term deal, do the non-exclusive, figure out ways to get multiple draft picks, and then just move on. But do not drag this thing along. Do not look at it like, okay, we could do this. No. Just move on and let's get this thing going, because at the end of the day, I believe a third of us, everybody that's watching, Cowboys fan before these players were on this team. So really appreciate the Cold Milk. Thank you for jumping in. John says he blamed Jerry more than Garrett. That's subject to say, yeah. Until Jason Garrett turned around in Giants land as the offensive coordinator, I'm still going to hold Jason Garrett's feet a little bit to the fire. Appreciate you, Jessica. She said Dak Prescott is all quarterback, period. I'm trying to say it in your voice, but period. PVO. Appreciate you, Jessica, so much for being part of the nation and also making the $5 donations. Really appreciate you. Jay Versick, hoodies are dope. Appreciate you, Jay Versick. I did read your comment about the sleeveless hoodies. I looked all around. I couldn't find anybody to make them so far. My thing is, if I can find a distributor that can make the hoodies without the sleeve, I will be the first person to let you know. But I appreciate you, Jay Versick, man. Thank you for your love and adulations. Appreciate you, Keith. Hey, that's all the time that I have for this moment. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdy and cheap for it, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, and lose all terror of God or man for it, if you would just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness, or body, or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of Almighty, Cowboy Nation, and everybody under the sound of my voice, you can get it. I'm just telling you guys the real deal, Holyfield. Can't nothing stop you when you have your mind set to it. Hey, the first thing that was ever said or ever done was out of the mouth. Out of the mouth, you can speak things. Hey, people think that light was first. Sound was first. Sound was first. God said, let there be light. He said, he spoke it. So you can speak these things until in existence. You may not believe in what I'm saying. You might not feel me what I'm saying, but I'm telling you, you speak this thing. You speak life. Don't look at the light. Look at what's coming out of your mouth. That's what the soul and the heart and sinew is saying. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you all for jumping in. I'm out. Peace. Baby, baby. I wish I had some outro music, but I don't have it on this one. But I appreciate you. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. We out again.